Hey, what's going on? Okay, today I'm going to show you how to make not this tiny headband, but the herringbone stitch. Well, it is a little more of an advanced crochet stitch because you have to work from the back and the front and keep track of all that. It's a little fiddly, but once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad, and it makes a really nice look, as you can see. So let's do it. You want to chain whatever length you want plus 1. And there's going to be a right side and a wrong side. So the first, after your chain, that first row that you work going this way is going to be your right side, correct side, I should say the front side. And then once you like get over there and then you turn your work, like that back side is going to be the wrong side or the back. But do your chain plus 1. So I did for the video, I think I have 9 chains. So I'll have 8 stitches that I'm working. So you are going to, I like to work into the backs of the bumps of the chain. I think it just makes a nicer look. So in the second chain from the hook, there's 1, 2. I'm going to work into the back. You're going to single crochet. Okay. I think one of the biggest tricks to this stitch is to not make it too tight. So just do normal single crochet. Now at this point, see how when you do a single crochet, you have 2 bars or loops there. On the loop on the left, the furthest to your left, you're going to go through that now. And you're going to do this kind of weird single crochet on your first stitch there. Now you're just going to go through that left loop, and now you're going to go through the next bump in the next chain, and you're going to pull up another loop, so you'll have 3. Now this is where you don't want things to get tight. So pull it so they're an even height. And I like to actually grab it and hold on to it because you don't want this last loop to get too tight because you're going to work through that next. So yarn over and then pull through all 3. And remember, just kind of hold on to that third loop, third meaning the furthest on the left. So you just pull through all 3. Now you're going to go through that loop. That's why you don't want it to get too tight. So go ahead and go through that, and now through the next chain or back bump, yarn over and pull through, and you'll have the 3. I hold on to that so it doesn't get tight, pull through all 3, and that's what you're going to repeat all the way down the row. Go through that furthest loop on the left, then into the next chain or bump, yarn over and pull up so you have 3. Grab onto it, pull through. Not everyone's not going to tell you to grab onto it. I just found that when I was doing it, if I didn't hold it, it would get too tight and then I couldn't go through here. So just keep doing that all the way down. Go through that loop all the way on the left, through the next chain or bump, hold on, pull through 3, and just keep grooving on down the line here. Now, we're getting kind of close to the end. Hold on, pull through the 3. See, it happened. This is what happens. It got a little too tight. There we go. And now here I am at my last bump. So you're going to do the same thing. Go through the chain, the bump, pull up 3. For 3 loops, and then pull through all 3. To get to the wrong side over here, you're going to go ahead and chain 1. You're going to turn it like a page in a book toward you and to the left. And now you're going to work it from the back. Same thing, but you're just going to be working from the back. So keep your working yarn toward you here and go ahead and go through that first stitch. And then you're going to yarn over and pull it through, and it's the first stitch in the row, so you're going to do a single crochet, just a lone single crochet. That's the only time you're going to do that single crochet all by itself, is the starting stitch of each row. You're going to do 1 single crochet. So there it is. All right, now you're always going to be looking toward the back, so you're going to do a lot of checking here, but it's the same thing. You're just working it from the back. You have your single crochet, and there are the 2 loops. You're going to go through the loop that's furthest on the left. I'm gonna go, just like I'm doing, go through it. Oh, good Lord. Go through that loop. There, I did it. and then through the next stitch, but from behind. So there's the front, go from behind and pull through a loop, and there's your 3 on the hook. 1, 2, 3. And I do the same thing. I kind of hold on to it a little bit, pull through all 3. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to go on that furthest loop on the left in the back there, and then through the next stitch from the back. And now from the working yarn on the front, you're going to pull it through, and you'll have the 3 on your hook. Don't let that get too tight. Pull through the 3 loops, and same thing, go into that left loop from the back. Oops, I missed it. And just keep sure that you're keeping that working yarn in front of everything as you're going. So you went through the left loop, now through the next stitch, and I do have to, you know, keep turning it and looking. That's kind of normal. You just got to do it. And then pull through a loop. You'll have 3, and go through all 3. And just boogie on down. Keep doing that. Through the left loop, through the next stitch in the back, pull it through for 3. Go through that last loop on the left, through the next stitch, pull it through. I'm not going to be completely honest, I think this stitch is kind of a pain in the ass because you have to work from the back, but I love the result. I think it looks so great, and it looks more impressive than it is. And the thing that crocheters like about the herringbone stitch is that it looks like a knitted stitch. It gives the look of knitting without having to knit. So, you know, be that as it may, do whatever you want with that information. Okay, so here we are at our last stitch. We're going to go through from the back, pull it through, same thing, 3 on the hook, pull through all 3, and now you just finished your second row. So there's the back. You can see it's not as gorgeous, right? But if you look at the front or the right side, you can see you're starting to make that really nice chevron-ish herringbone pattern. So you just pulled through 3, and now you're going to do the same thing. You're going to chain 1, turn your work toward you to the left, and now we are back on the front side. And now you're just going to do that thing that you do, but from the front, just like you did in your first row when you were working into the bumps of the chain. But now you're working into the stitches rather than the bumps, or rather than into the chain. So in the first stitch here, you're going to remember it's your first stitch of the new row, so you're going to just do 1 single crochet and then use that left loop to go through. And then we were going into the bumps before down here, but now we have stitches. So you're going to go into the next stitch all the way through both legs of it. 3 on the hook. I give it a nice hold there. Go through that last loop, through the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, go through all 3. And that's your pattern. So you're going to do this. This is row 3. So on your odds, you're going to be working on the front side, and on your evens, you're going to be working on the back side from the back, entering the stitches from the back. So it's easy to kind of lose track, especially if you have a big project and you set it down and you come back to it. One little trick I will give you, a little tip when I first started doing this, is if you know this is, if you're not used to knowing what the look is, it can be confusing. I'll just put a stitch marker just somewhere randomly in the front side, just to remind myself, with just glancing at it, I know that that is the front side, and that's going to be entering from the front, where that stitch marker is on that side. Just stick it in there so it's hanging there somewhere. That way you don't have to like keep checking or remind yourself if you set it down and come back to it. But eventually you'll understand what the pattern looks like, and you'll see it, you'll recognize it. But that's it, everybody. That's the herringbone stitch. It's really beautiful, and I hope you like it. I mean, I don't even know what I did here. I just stopped and I messed myself up because I got distracted. But it happens. It happens. Yeah, here we are. Through the loop, through the stitch, yarn over, pull through 3. I'm tutorializing myself. Okay, that's the herringbone stitch, everybody. I hope you enjoy this stitch. I hope you learned something new and that you make something really kick-ass awesome with it. Also, remember, when you get to this last stitch of the row, it can be a little like turned over and hard to get through, as I'm struggling with it right now. But don't freak out. You can do it. I believe in you. There it is. Yarn over, pull through. There's your 3. And that's your last one. Chain 1 and turn. And now you can see we're on the ugly side. We're going to be working from the back forward with working yarn in front. That's it. That's the herringbone stitch. Look at it. Cute. You're going to have something cool like this. I know you will. Thanks, everybody. Please like the video if you liked it. Leave a comment. If you have any questions, I will try to answer them. Thanks a lot. Bye.